Okay, class, so in this video I want to look at individuals that may not fall under at-will employment. Okay, the first group of people would be unionized employees. Okay, so what is a unionized employee? Okay, it's a person that works in a job and they have union representation. A union is an organization of employees, okay, formed to promote the welfare of its members. Okay, so you have all the employees coming together, okay, and they are going to bargain with their employer as a collective group, okay? So there's strength in numbers. That's really what a union is. Okay, now if somebody is part of a union, they cannot be fired at the will of the employer, okay? And that's because the employer and the union, okay, which the union is made up of the employees, they have an established agreement in writing, okay? And that established agreement is going to say how and why employees can be fired. Okay, so if it doesn't fall under those terms that are outlined in the agreement, then the union member may not be able to be fired at all. Okay, and the other thing too is it needs to go throughout whatever policies are established in that agreement. Okay, now the policies are going to limit the employer from just coming in one day and saying, look, you're fired. Okay, that would violate the agreement. Okay, this agreement, it also establishes what the union members are going to be paid, what sorts of working conditions and requirements are going to be in place for the employees, and then what sorts of benefits beyond pay are the union employees going to be receiving. Okay, now another group of people that may not fall under employment at will would be employees with individual contracts. Okay, so there might be certain employees, okay, in certain professions where that individual, okay, they form a contract between themselves and their employers. Okay, now this is different than the union employees. The union employees are forming an agreement as a union, okay? They're collectively coming together to form some sort of agreement with the employer. Okay, but individuals can do that as well. They can form contracts with their employers. Okay, some common examples of this would be like sports stars. Okay, if you ever seen like in football or basketball, they'll say that so-and-so signed a new contract with such and such a team, okay, to play for another 2 years. Or celebrities, they'll sign a contract to do a movie or a TV show, okay, or there's entertainers. So if a celebrity or a musician decides that they're going to play a show, like a concert, they would sign a contract for that particular show that they're going to play. Okay, so it limits how the employee can leave the job and how an employer can end the employment agreement. Okay, they can't just decide one day that they're not going to do it, otherwise they're in violation of that contract that they signed. So both parties have to adhere to the terms in the contract, so it's no longer employment at will. Okay, so the next protection against employment at will, okay, are protected classes of employees. So certain groups of people, they cannot be fired based upon their race, their color, their creed, national origin, gender, or age. Okay, we call those people protected classes. Now, protected classes, they can't be fired based on the items above, okay, but they can be let go based upon like their job performance, or if the employer has certain limitations, like if the employer needs to let people go based upon budget cuts, then they can get rid of those particular individuals, okay, if they have just cause, but they can't just say we're going to get rid of all of our women workers or all of our men workers, okay, they can't base their decisions based upon protected classes. We're going to talk a little bit more about protected classes in our next lesson as well. Okay, so these are some of the reasons why an individual may not be employed at will.